Blackstone Publishing presents The Bloodied Ivy, a Nero Wolfe mystery by Robert Goldsborough. This book is read by L.J. Ganser.
Chapter 1. Hale Markham's death had been big news, of course. It was even the subject of a brief conversation I had with Nero Wolfe. We were sitting in the office, he with beer, and I with a scotch and water, going through our copies of the Gazette before dinner. "See where this guy up at Prescott U fell into a ravine on the campus and got himself killed?" I asked, to be chatty. Wolfe only grunted, but I've never been one to let a low-grade grunt stop me. "Wasn't he the one whose book, they mention it here in the story, Bleeding Hearts Can Kill, got you so worked up a couple of years back?" Wolfe lowered his paper, sighed, and glared at a spot on the wall 6 inches above my head. "The man was a political Neanderthal," he rumbled. "He would have been supremely happy in the court of Louis XIV, and the book to which you refer is a monumental exercise in fatuity." I sensed the subject was closed, so I grunted myself and turned to the sports pages. I probably wouldn't have thought any more about that scrap of dialogue, except now, 3 weeks later, a small, balding, 50-ish specimen with brown-rimmed glasses and a sport coat that could have won a blue ribbon in a quilting contest, perched on the red leather chair in the office, and stubbornly repeated the statement that had persuaded me to see him in the first place. "Hale Markham was murdered," he said. "I'm unswerving in this conviction." Let me back up a bit. The man before me had a name, Walter Willis Cortlandt. He had called the day before, Monday, introducing himself as a political science professor at Prescott University and a colleague of the late Hale Markham's. He then dropped the bombshell that Markham's death had not been a mishap. I had asked Cortlandt over the phone if he'd passed his contention along to the local cops. "It's no contention, Mr. Goodwin, it's a fact," he'd snapped, adding that he had indeed visited the town police in Prescott, but they hadn't seemed much interested in what he had to say. I could see why. Based on what little he told me over the phone, Cortlandt didn't have a scrap of evidence to prove Markham's tumble was murder, nor did he seem inclined, in his zeal for truth, to nominate a culprit. So why, you ask, had I agreed to see him? Good question. I must admit it was at least partly vanity. When he phoned at 10:20 that morning, and I answered, "Nero Wolfe's office, Archie Goodwin speaking," Cortlandt had cleared his throat twice, paused.
"Sample complete. Ready to continue?"